Go and play. Play first, come back and we'll do homework later. Use the staircase to climb up, turn around, climb down, climb up backwards, climb down backwards. Repetition usually helps cement the learning process. My focus was never there for math and algebra, geometry, integration, derivation, blah. When while working on their favorite subject, their focus isn't there. Having some deep breathing exercises with your child. And deep breathing exercises meaning not yoga. Screen time is limited, it's age appropriate. Make sure that they're not having too much sugar in their diet. The easiest thing to doodle is a sleeping aid. It's like a racetrack and then starting again. This is a movement break. Hello, today we are going to talk about a topic by the name of focus. Focus, attention, concentration, all clubbed into one. So what is focus and how do you realize it's a problem? How do you realize it's not a problem? So generally, when a child has attended a full day's school and comes home with homework is important, it's very important. But think in terms of ability to finish that homework. Unless there is enough movement happening in the body because the child has been in the school, sitting for period 1, sitting for period 2, maybe moving around a little bit in the recess, maybe one PE class, and then they come back and you want them to sit and do homework, that's not a recommended thing. The best thing would be go and play. Play first, come back and we'll do homework later. Or if you have one of those kids who when you go play first and never comes home until it's like time to go to bed, then maybe give them a time limit or something to do around the house. Or in today's high rises, the staircase, do a lot of staircase warm-ups. What I mean by that is use the staircase to climb up, turn around, climb down, climb up backwards, climb down backwards, climb up right side, climb down left side, climb up left side, climb down right side. Now when you're doing this, the entire body is again getting a lot of movement and it is getting activated. All that excess energy that was there is getting used up. After this, we can sit and work and we can finish whatever homework that is there. And the reason I'm saying we is, no matter how old your child is, unless you're sitting next to that child, they are not going to do that homework at all. They don't want to do it. They've done those things in the school. They've studied it. What is this homework? Repetition usually cements whatever learning is being done. This is the sentence that I will repeat. Repetition usually helps cement the learning process. This is something you might have to repeat, write it down so the children know that homework is given for a reason. Certain children have likes and dislikes, so focus is better with certain subjects. Like me personally, I hate math. My focus was never there for math and algebra, geometry, integration, derivation, blah. Not. Even today it gives me the creeps. But that is me personally. Science, biology, chemistry, history. I loved those. I even today can remember most of the dates that I have learned 40 years ago. And it's fantastic because that is my liking, that is the way it is. It was made interesting for me by my parents where when we had history of Shivaji, that year we took the entire trip in the May vacation, climbed all the forts. And when it was taught to me, the history came alive for me. Even to date, history is one of my favorite subjects. Your child is going to have a favorite subject. They're going to have an unfavorite subject. When it comes to the point that even while working on their favorite subject, their focus isn't there, that's when we need to get a little more help. When they are going to work on a subject that you know they don't like, don't expect focus like how it would be on a subject where they are liking. On an average, 6 to 8 year old, 3 pages and they're done. Think in terms of what they've done until they've come to this homework. Think in terms of how many things they've learned during the day. A couple of pages and a movement break helps the focus. A couple of, say if it is reading, read. The chapter is not very long, but if you're finding that they're not quite there, they're wavering, maybe they need a break. This usually does help. Giving the break acknowledges the fact that there is some kind of a discrepancy, and let's take a break and let's come back to it. That generally tends to help quite a bit. When to seek help? When it is consistent that there is no focus, whether it's English or history or math, or even when it is, having a conversation, sitting on the dinner table, ability to eat is not there. But when they're watching their favorite program or when they're on screen time, there is amazing focus. That might be a time when there's a problem, because when it comes to learning new things which are not animated or which are not on the screen, that is something that our education system is not wired for yet. So learning becomes an issue, especially in schools. When they lose focus, what is it that they do? Do they disrupt the rest of the being, or are they quiet? They just shift and they come back, or they don't come back until they're asked to come back. These are the things that actually need to be, you can seek help, but you do not need professional help for it. A few things that you can try at home. The first thing would be having some deep breathing exercises with your child. And deep breathing exercises meaning not yoga. The best thing that generally works is to have some paper, tear it up, make small balls, and let the children blow those balls and let them blow that ball away. When they are blowing that out, they're actually exhaling, and that is actually letting excess energy go. Another thing that helps is to have a straw that is really curvy and to drink water through that straw. When they are using energy to suck every single sip, that generally helps a lot to use that excess energy up. Still, other things that can help, things that are hard to eat. Now, this is not allergy related, so if your child is allergic to something that I'm saying, please use your discretion here. But just before sitting down to learn a new topic, have an apple, crunch into the apple, the crunchiness of the apple, or any kind of nuts. The best ones are almonds and peanuts, but anything else that works for your particular child you can do. Even children that are having trouble with focus, eating cucumbers and sticks of cucumbers, not slices. When you cut cucumbers and carrots into sticks, chomping on them generally helps focus a lot. When all of these things are being tried out, and then when it's not working out, then probably you need to look at professional help. But like I've mentioned earlier, make sure that the screen time is limited, it's age appropriate. Make sure that they're not having too much sugar in their diet. Make sure that they've had a good bowel movement. Their diet is regularized, they do not have constipation. All of these things affect focus any which ways. So this is where things would make a difference. A few other things that help focus, and they are fun. One of the things is to have if you have any kind of racket at home, whether it's a table tennis bat or it's a badminton racket or it's a tennis racket, and they are quite there. It does not have to be a professional one, even a plastic one is fine. It's to actually have a balloon blown up and to give it to the child and say, you need to do that 10 times. Keep it in the air for 10 times. And if it falls, then you have to start again at 1. Another thing that is very routinely available in all of the Indian households is the ball. The one that we have, the red color, the Pepsi ball that is there, the one that we play cricket with, gully cricket with. The ability to throw and catch the ball is something that would help. Every time you throw the ball, you have to catch it by holding it under it. And the way you're holding the ball is actually your writing position. So that is how it works. And throwing and catching the ball about 10 times with the hand that you're writing with, and then with the non-dominant hand, again with the dominant hand, is how you would improve focus. So 10, 10 and 10, and then again sit down and do whatever work that you're going to do. Now this is something that schools probably won't allow, and if there is a shift of focus in the schools, how do you do movement breaks in the schools? How do you work a little bit of movement in the school? The easiest things to do are with the things that are available on your desk. So in a school setting, the easiest thing to do to get a movement break is to use the writing tool, whatever it is that a child writes with, whether it's a pen or a pencil. They're writing, they just shift back and they shift in the front and they shift back and they shift in the front and they start writing again. This is something that we need to teach our children. They obviously don't do it on their own. Another thing that helps, and it helps a lot, is just at the side doing some kind of doodling. That is not exactly related to what is being taught. The easiest thing to doodle is a sleeping 8. It's like a racetrack and then starting again. This is a movement break. For very small children, we actually ask them to do what is called as a sword fight. So that is my sword and that is yours, and you just fight with the sword and then go back to writing. Unfortunately, these things tend to distract the child into their own imagination and get into the sword fighting with their friend that is sitting on the next table, and they don't tend to come back to what needs to be done. So the shifting of the pencil is the one that helps the most. Even asking them to have that eraser, turning the pencil, erasing and then going back to writing also helps. These are the things that are very easily done in the classroom and very easily remembered by the children. Another thing that is extremely good for focus is rubbing your ear. It generally tends to help focus better.